Hey, this is Eternal King bringing you another LOR video today. So I've been jamming some games in Standard with Mogwai's control deck, and I have to say that it's decently powerful. I made some tweaks to my own personal preference. I'm on the three Vengeance. Three Vengeances I think is absolutely mandatory in Eternal or Standard. I played into a good range of decks now. I think keeping the three Harrowing is necessary in case the opponent is running some sort of meme board clear in Standard, like they're just playing a card that you can't possibly predict in this matchup. And if in the case that you do get meme board clear, then you can play Harrowing and get your entire board back, and none of that matters. It hasn't happened yet, but it is possible. So again, even if you never play the Harrowing in 90% of matches, at least you have it in those 10% of matches that it matters. The Vengeance, however, absolutely mandatory. Say an Ornn comes down in in a mid-range matchup, you need to kill Ornn, not just frostbite Ornn. Ornn needs to be dead. Your opponent pays 7 mana, you pay 6 mana. That needs to die. Another example is the Elder Dragon matchup. If someone plays Turtle, Turtle needs to die. So you snap Vengeance the Turtle, you snap Vengeance Ornn. A lot of these big power plays that are still relevant in Standard need to die, so I played the Vengeance. Rime Tusk, absolutely. Rime Fang, absolutely. Both mandatory cards. Harsh Winds is a 3 of. Frozen in Fear is a 3 of. Ash. Legion of the Severed, Soul Harvest, Iceveil Archer, Glimpse, Sentry, Three Sisters is a 3 of. All that stuff's the same. And then my one tech card is I run one Shatter. Just because the Soul Harvest is proven to be so powerful as a removal tool after the Frostbite that I'll even run one Shatter. And worst case scenario, it's just like a slow speed Frostbite anything kind of card, which is fine. So yeah, this deck is perfect in Standard right now. It feels very, very powerful into all the kinds of Unga Bunga decks people are playing. It feels like it's the only control deck that can properly deal with the stuff that people are throwing at you in this format right now. So again, Omen Hawk, Mogwai was on an Omen Hawk. He was on some Brittles. I'm not running any of that crap. Give me the three Vengeances all day long. Now it's a perfect control deck for my personal preferences and what I'm running into. And I'll take the one Shatter. If you want to replace the one Shatter with one Brittle, go for it. Be my guest. But in this case, I'm just going to run the one Shatter. And, if this trades with an opponent's burst card, then fine. If I spend 1 mana to try to shatter something and then they have to spend a 2 mana burst, like I'm still coming out ahead on that, so that's fine. Soul Harvest obviously being the better card, though. And I think Soul Harvest Frostbite is really the core control package of this deck. It's just like Iceveil Archer Soul Harvest, Three Sisters Soul Harvest, Harsh Winds Soul Harvest. You get the point. Ash's Spell Soul Harvest. All that stuff is just the core of this deck. It's such an important card. And then you have Legion of the Severed, buffing Ash, making her deathless, or buffing Rime Tusk Shaman, making them deathless. If your opponent's running something like strike cards, it's hard, you've got all these frostbites to counter strikes, which is really bad for them. It counters open swings, it counters power plays, it counters everything. You even have the Harrowing to counter a board clear potentially, which is really I took it out in one game and then immediately regretted it because that was the game where someone did run a meme board clear in a deck that didn't make sense, and then I was like, okay, well now I can't do anything because I took out the card that's meant to counter that. But yeah, it counters everything. Counters board clears, counters power plays, a million frostbites to counter all the beef that people are playing. Rime Tusk Shaman for the consistency. Overwhelm, big overwhelm wolves for the swing. Ash for, denying. She's really powerful on the open because, again, if everything's frostbitten, then nothing can block you. So she's very powerful in the open swing. This card is great. Its stat line and what it provides, the effect is very powerful. The removal package of Frostbite plus Soul Harvest is very powerful. Good amount of draw, good strong draw engine. Three Sisters is obviously an MVP card in Freljord, has been a long time. And then, yeah, my one tech is the Shatter. But you can run whatever one tech you want. It doesn't matter. But that's just what I'm going to do. Yeah, so great deck by Mogwai. Small tweak on my end, which again, like how can you play this game without Vengeance? How can you play a control deck without the triple Vengeance? I have no idea. But yeah, the Vengeance is MVP. Like I said, Turtle, Ornn, any sort of big power play. That card that, double duplicates Elder Dragon skill, or, he doubles Elder Dragon effects. There's just so many like big standard beefy cards, and every single deck is just about like spiraling out of control with board presence. That vengeance is important on top of the much better option, which is the frostbite plus soul harvest. It's slow speed removal, but it is better to ice veil archer than soul harvest, something that's problematic. But you won't always have access to that. Sometimes you need to vengeance. Because again, there's only 3 copies of soul harvest. That's not enough removal to get you through a match, in my opinion. So you need the 3 vengeance. That's 6 removal cards. I'll even run 1 shatter as either a slow speed frostbite or a removal option. But yeah, this is great. This is great. This is kind of everything that Standard needs for me personally to be a playable format. So yeah, always take a look at Mogwai's decks. Typically speaking, they're not great the way that they're built. Like there's always little tweaks that need to be made, but like once those tweaks happen, his decks can be exceptionally powerful. This is Eternal King signing out. Keep control alive in Standard, for the love of God.